These things need to be, yeah, these things need to be very much clear before proceeding to ERD. So today we will do something called entity relationship diagram. Means, what is the purpose of entity relationship diagram? It is the logical structure. It defines the logical structure of a database. Okay. So after collecting the data or after collecting uh, uh, the requirement from the client, what we will do, we will structure the database. First job after analysis to structure the database means what will be the data repository, how it will look. Before starting any application, we should confirm that our database or the data repository look like this. So to design that database, ER diagram or entity relationship diagram is the most important tool. Okay. And for any examination or any test in DBMS or RDBMS, ERD, there will be definitely questions from entity relationship diagram, multiple and as well as the descriptive part. Okay. So what type of questions you can expect from it as a descriptive? That means you have to draw a entity relationship diagram, something like that. I previously shown you up, something like that, something like that. How can we draw this thing? Okay, so this is a design of a database. Okay, this is a design of a
Design
database.
of it.
So how can you draw this thing? So last day I provide you some questions. These are some questions. Actually, these are some facts. Okay, this is actually describing a facts for a client. Okay, for a situation. So reading these facts, you have to design that diagram. Reading this is another one. Okay, so questions may come in this pattern that they will give you a paragraph describing a fact. From within that fact, you have to identify the elements and you have to draw that ER diagram. And questions may come like this also. Okay, they will not
Hmm.
giving you any descriptive fact, rather they will give you something like that: design a database for hospital management system. Now what do you understand by that?
We have to check with the patient records. We have to means a
Before
hospital.
that, you have to understand hospital management system is going to be the application, means the
Mm-hmm.
software or the web application. Okay, so hospital management system, it will be a software, it will be a automated system which will be used to manage an entire hospital, right? Now
Yes,
to manage an entire hospital, several different data need to be stored, right?
correct.
So
Administrative data, nursing data, patient
yeah,
data, doctor
everything,
data.
lots of data. So how to handle those data in a systematic fashion? For that purpose, we need a database, right?
Correct.
So you have to design the database. So you have to identify. They are not saying anything in this type of question. They will not say anything. Which are the entities? Which are the relationship? You have to identify from your idea. Okay, hospital management system. What will be there in a hospital management system? You have to guess, or you have to uh, identify. You have to think.
Hmm.
Yeah, what
Correct.
data can be stored in. So questions can be descriptive questions. Okay, I'm not
Hmm.
considering the
Oh, MCQ.
MCQ part, because once you go through the entire chapter, you must have to go through the entire chapter. Means whatever I told you in the last two classes, those are all very much important with respect to MCQs. Okay.
Okay.
Now in today's class, the descriptive part means questions can come in these two fashion. A fact will be given, complete fact,
Hmm.
that will be a easy task. And
Hmm.
if the fact is not given, they will give you something like that, you have to identify. Okay,
Identify the
so
requirements.
there are some systems that I will also inform you, like hospital management system, then you have student
Ho-
management system, then you
Hotel
have
management.
university hotel management, something like that you have to identify. Okay, I will give
Okay.
you a list. So these are the common things that usually come in an exam of DBM.
Hmm.
Okay, So just quick look into it quickly. That table relation, you have no problem. Now we have discussed it details last classes. Okay,
Yes.
the last two classes. Tables, what is table? Tabular
Collection
relation
of
API.
data
Okay.
in
Next,
rows and column.
attributes. What are the
Column.
different types of attributes you remember? That single attribute, composite attribute,
Composite attribute,
multiple
multi-level,
attribute, multi-valued
multi-value,
attribute.
single value, multi-value,
And
then
another thing was derived
null,
attribute,
derived attribute, null
null
attribute,
attribute. So these are all MCQ parts. Okay.
mm, tuple,
So
row,
tuple means
row,
row, record. Okay.
mm,
Relation instance means a particular table. Relation instance. Okay.
mm,
Then schema.
schema,
Schema means relation का जो heading है means the
mm,
heading, the attribute set. So if we
yes,
write that set in this format, giving a comma, field 1, field 2, field 3. So this will be called as a schema of that particular table or relation. Okay.
mm,
Next we have keys. You
different
remember
keys,
different keys, that super
yes,
key,
candidate key, super key,
candidate
foreign,
key,
primary key,
primary key. Foreign key I haven't completed.
yeah,
I will tell it
yes,
later.
that was being kept as a this thing for the later discussion.
Later discussion.
Primary key, candidate key, and super key we have
Super key.
discussed.
These are all discussed. Okay.
Mm,
Okay. Next we have the major thing is entity. You have to identify an entity first. Okay.
mm,
Now, what is an entity? Suppose in a hospital management system, if we are taking that hospital management system, something like that. So, what are the different entities? Now, what do you mean by an entity? Entity is, you can say, any real world object which has some unique features. Okay. So, in a hospital management system, I am giving you the hint, or I am telling you firstly that to manage a hospital, what are
mm,
the elements for which we need to save the data? That is called an entity in simple term. So
okay.
in any system
Patient
for which you need to store the data, preserve the data, those are called the entities. Okay.
entities,
Like in a hospital management system, you must agree that we need to store the data
patient
of
data should
patients,
be
we need to store the
doctor,
data for doctors, for
then the
departments, different
department
departments will be there,
inventory,
and
inventory,
you have the staffs, right?
supporting staff,
Yeah, you have the means
emergency care unit, or
emergency you
it can
can,
come under a department only.
yeah, or the rooms means the chambers and the
Ward,
clinics, wards. Okay, so those are the different elements
eh,
for which we need to store the data, and each element you must consider have some different attributes, na? Patient ID, patient name, patient address, okay, patient diseases, doctor's ID, doctor's name, doctor's contact, doctor's degree, qualification, etc. So these are called the entities. Now think about a school management system or a university management system. Tell me, give me some example of entities.
student, teachers,
Obviously will be a student
prince,
will be a entity, will be an
then
entity,
the
teachers will be an entity,
head,
classes, courses, exams, these are all entities in a university management system, because to manage an university we need to store the data of these elements. So these are all entities. So now you get the point what is called entity. Okay. Now relationship. So in a database management system, we have relationship among or between these entities. Like here, in a university management system, student is an entity and teacher is an entity. So there must be a relationship between these two. So what will be the relationship? What can we say about the relationship? We can say like that: teacher teaches student. Okay.
yes,
So we can write like this. Just quickly, I have to finish these things out. Teachers or teacher teaches students. So this becomes your relationship. You see, these are the two entities.
Yes.
These are the two entities, teacher
And
and
student.
student. They are participating in this relationship. Na? I can say
Yes.
these two entities are associated with this one. This association is called a relationship.
Relationship.
Actually, relationship is like an association. Na?
Correct.
So, me and my brother means a person is there who is my brother. So, brotherhood will be the relationship. That is the association of the two human beings.
Yes.
Right. So relationship is the association of the different entities. Okay. So that is called relationship. And we have in our entity relationship diagram, I told you last day, entities will be
In a
in this
rectangle.
pattern.
Rectangle.
Yeah. And the relationship will be
Rhombus.
this symbol. Okay. So now if I represent this teacher student in our entity relationship diagram, so what you have to do, you have to write teachers like that. Okay, within this rectangular box, teacher
Teachers.
teaches
Again, student in rectangle box.
student, like that. So this is the simple thing, student. Okay, now see, this relationship always comes in verbal format and these are in noun format. Okay, noun format, and this is verbal format. Teaches verbal format, na.
Yes.
Mm, like doctor check up patient, or doctor provide treatment,
Treats.
uh,
Treats patient.
treats patient. So doctors and patient are in noun format, and the
And
relationship treat is verbal format. So to give a name to a relationship, to give a name to an entity, you must consider this rule, that whenever you are giving a name to an entity, it should be in a noun format. And whenever you are giving a name to a relationship, it should be in a
in
verbal format.
verb
Okay.
form.
And while
Hmm.
designing an ERD, you should avoid giving same name to multiple relationship.
Hmm.
Okay. So you should not give more than one relationship with the same name. Okay.
Okay.
So I will
Okay.
show it up in our discussion later. So this was relationship. After that, what is degree of relationship? This also we discussed. Degree of
Yes.
relationship is the number of entities. This is a relationship, na?
Yes.
This is a relationship, and these are relation.
Relation.
Relation. So
So
how
two
many
degree
relations
of
are,
relationship is two. Yes.
yes? How many relations are
Two
participating in that
entities.
relationship is the number of degree. Is called the degree of that
Degree of
relationship.
relation.
How many relations are participating in that relationship is called the degree of that relationship. If the number is 2, then that is a binary relationship. If the number is 1, then that is called a unary relationship.
Unary relationship.
If the number is 3, then that is called a ternary relationship.
Ternary relationship.
Okay. So, unary relationship, you remember? Unary relationship
Yes.
is something like that. Suppose I am writing that employee, suppose in a company, uh, say manager, okay, MGR, manager manages, I can write manages employee, I can write it, okay.
This became binary, na?
This is binary, but you should consider that manager is also an employee.
Hmm.
Hmm?
Yes.
So if manager is also an employee, then how can I write the employee and manager by treating them different entities? By looking at this figure, anybody will consider that these are two different entities, na?
Yes.
So this should be written like that: employee manages
Manages
employee,
employee. Reverse loop.
like that. So now here in this relationship, one entity is participating twice, as a manager
And as well as the
and as
employee.
a
Mm,
employee. So when this occurs, then we say that this is a unary
unary.
relationship. Unary relationship. Or there is another name that is called recursive relationship. Recursive. Recursive relationship. Okay. So when what is a recursive relationship?
It
When
is referring
there
to
is
itself.
only one entity with associated with the relationship, then we call it as a recursive entity. Sorry, when one entity is associated with the relationship and acting two different role and acting as two different entities, then we call it as a recursive relationship. Okay.
Hmm.
So it was unary, binary, ternary relationship. Then we have something called mapping cardinality. From here we are starting new.
Okay.
Is it okay for?
Yes, fine.
Okay. Are you recording also?
No, Srinivas is recording. He has kept
Oh,
on recording and went.
okay, okay. No problem, because I think you should have means you have to uh, view
Record.
this after the regular class begins. There you will also have the discussion like that. Then you should refer to these videos again. It will
Yes,
be better
yes.
for you.
Yes, yes.
So next we have mapping cardinality. Mapping cardinality means we have already did this same thing in our mathematics MFCA, mapping cardinality. Now what is mapping cardinality? You remember that we have um, uh,
Kartish
we did
product.
relation
Product set in the
relations.
sets. Oh, relations also. Correct, correct. We
Mapping
had.
cardinalities. Mapping cardinalities means how many entities are participating, how many entities are related with how many entities. Okay.
Hmm.
Now see, if there are two sets, entity
Hmm.
means set, na?
Yes.
So something like that. Okay. So if one is
The
connected
here
to
it
one,
is, I think one to one, one to many,
this is your
many
one
to
to one.
one.
This
Ah,
is your one to one relationship. If
an
one to
entity
many,
is one entity is related with many entities.
yeah, one entity is related with many entities.
Entities in the other set.
Okay, that is your
One to
one
many.
to many, one to many, right?
Hmm.
Then many to one,
Many to one. Many to many.
many to many, and many to one,
Hmm.
many to one, something like that, many to one. Okay,
Hmm.
so it will be your n is to one,
One.
and you have many to
Many
many,
to many. Hmm.
many to many, many to many. So n is to n.
N.
Now, what this mean actually? See, suppose when we say that mm, faculty teaches student,
Subject. Student.
teaches student. So how many students are taught by how many faculties?
Hmm.
That should be pointed out in the ER diagram also.
Hmm.
Tell me, one faculty can teach only one student or
Many students,
many
one to
students.
many relationship it
So
can
it
come.
can be one to many. But
And
think,
vice
one
versa
student,
is many
uh,
to one.
one student can be taught by in a university multiple faculties. So what
Many
kind of
to many.
relationship it will be? This relationship, what kind of relationship it will be? It will be a many to many
Many to
relationship.
many.
So you have to write like this n. This will signify. See, there are different notations followed by different authors. So you will find
Mm-hmm.
different notations uh, representing this many to one to many mapping coordinates. But this is the most simplest to remember.
Yes.
Okay. So here I put n means n
Many to
faculties is related to m
n
students.
students.
Now, giving you one more example. Suppose EMP, an employee, EMP works in a department. Na?
Mm.
I can say works in a department. Now tell me, what will be the relationship of this? What kind of relationship it will be? This work in.
We can consider both the relationship here, like many to many, because n number of people will employees can be under multiple departments. If you are considering department as only one, then one no, many to one also could be.
Considering that an employee can work in only one department, he is engaged in one department only. Na? Suppose a faculty from
Many
computer science.
employees, many employees, there could be many faculties in that particular department also.
Yeah,
I
but
just
one
thought like that.
employee,
If it is only one
one
employee, then
department will contain many employee,
yes, many to
something
one.
like that.
That's what I said. Yes,
Okay, so it will be many to one.
many to
But
one. It could be many to many also.
that depends on organization. If
Yes.
the organization allow an employee that he can work for different departments, okay, then it will be all right. See, suppose a faculty from computer science and IT department, means the
Mm,
MCA faculty, okay,
mm,
he can take a class of mm, suppose a say mechanical MTech,
mm,
okay,
mm,
say ME.
mm.
He can take a class of ME for the computer subject. But does that mean he belongs to that mechanical department? No, he belongs to computer science and IT department. Na? So in that way, or in an organization, employee can be fixed
To one
with the
department.
department. So that depends, obviously that depends on organization, that varies from organization to organization. So in that case, you have to consider the organization's requirement. Then you have to decide what type of relationship it will be, whether it will be many to many
Correct.
or whether it will be many to one.
Many to one. Mm.
So now you get understand how to show the mapping coordinates, how to find mapping coordinates in the ER diagram. Just
Yes.
tell me.
Yes. Yes. It's clear.
Okay, okay. So this is your mapping coordinate. Next we have ERD. We have to draw the ERD. But before that, we will give you some points, steps to design ERD. Okay, steps to design ERD. So I have 10 or 12 steps. I'm thinking, should I write all the steps here or should I uh, write it later?
Anything will do. Or if you have any pic diagram or something to show that also. In that diagram only, if you can explain also will do.
Okay, just I'm writing 2 3 steps,
Hmm.
then I will give you a clear list.
Okay.
In order to steps, okay, steps
Design a ERD.
to design ERD. Okay, first is identify the
Entities.
entities. Number two, identify the attributes of the entity and associate them. Okay. Number 3, identify the relationships
Between the
among
among
the
the entity
entities and
associate.
associate them. Then we have 4, 5, 6 that I will write later. Okay. But
Okay, fine.
first, these are the basic steps. Okay.
Mm.
I will complete it later. Now let's take some examples. First, I will ask you to, so that your brain can put it on a track.
Yes.
Just tell me, before before facing this long question or this paragraph. Okay, we
Mm.
are going uh, in an incremental process. Let's, I'm giving you something. Say,
Okay.
mm, suppose there is a company. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
in that company there are some labors. Okay,
Mm.
so in a company there are labors who mm, manufacture furnitures of different types. Just that. I want to draw a ER diagram for this company. Then
Mm.
identify what are the entities and what can be the attributes
Okay.
of the entity.
Met, no, this one materials, type of furniture,
First of
then the
all, what are the
labor,
entities?
labor,
Yeah, labor you can
and
say
then the
this is.
owner.
Owner has not been mentioned here.
Okay.
If the story has been given to you, then you have to go with the story.
Okay, fine.
If the
Then the
thing is
furniture,
like this,
labor and furniture.
if the if the question is like this, design a
Mm.
hospital management system, then you can implement your own thoughts.
Okay, fine. Correct. Mm.
Then,
Labors and furniture, type of furniture,
not type of furniture, it's only furniture.
only furniture. Okay.
So that will be the two entities. Now, how
Okay.
can I design the element, the design the entity relationship diagram? So this will
Two
be your
rectangle,
two
then
rectangle. Then we
then
will have
we'll have
something like
something.
that,
Okay.
and we'll have,
Manufactures, labor manufactures furniture.
yeah. Now this is labor,
Verb will be manufacture,
and this will be
furniture,
furniture. Furniture. And what will be the relationship name?
manufactures.
Manufacture. So labor, manufacture, furniture. Okay.
Yes.
So this will be your ERD, simplest term. Okay. Now
Mm.
you have to identify the attributes. Now see, there is no mention about the attributes. Now you
Mm.
can guess what can be the attributes. And whatever the attributes you identify, you have to write the entities, sorry, attributes like that. Na?
Attributes like that.
So
Okay.
among all the attributes, you must have some ID.
ID.
ID for labor. Okay.
ID for labor.
Then
Then
you
name.
can have name.
Mm.
Name. You
Date
can
of
have
joining.
date of joining. I am just writing salary.
Salary.
Okay.
Okay.
You can identify anything. Now you must have something
Gender.
for furniture.
Age. Okay.
Furniture
Furniture.
name. Okay.
Mm.
Maybe furniture type. See,
Type of
different types. So what is the type of that particular furniture, and what is the price? I'm
price.
just taking the three simple
Duration.
attributes,
Okay.
not taking many others. You can
Okay.
identify of your own. Okay.
Mm.
price. So these are the three attributes we have identified so far. Now see, since this is, you must have some primary key.
Yes.
Okay, here furniture, for that particular furniture you do
I
not have any primary key. If you want to put a primary key,
We can
then
put
you
again
can
ID.
put a primary key of furniture ID, say FID. Okay, or
Hmm.
not taking furniture ID, you can put a serial number,
Serial
SLNO,
number. Yes, that also will
serial
do.
number. Okay,
Or product
fine.
code,
Product code, serial number, something like that. Okay.
something like that. Product
Now
ID, anything we can do.
see, we have followed these three steps:
Yes.
identifying the entities, identifying the attributes and associating them with the
Mm.
entities respective, and then identifying the relationship among the entities and associate them.
Mm.
Okay. Now, one more thing you have to identify,
Mm.
but that is the cardinality. So, what will be the cardinality? N labor
For labor, it is
manufacture M furniture. Na?
and furniture.
So, it will be a many to many relationship.
Many to many relationship.
Many to many relationship. So, up to this, okay,
Yes,
let's try
fine.
me.
Mm.
So, this is the way how you have to proceed for our entity relationship diagram. Okay.
Mm.
Now, one more thing you have to finally you have to identify, that is called the schema.
Mm.
So, what will be the schema? How can we write that?
I
Schema basically means the plans, means the entities. So here labor, the schema will be something like that. The
ID,
ID,
name and
name,
salary.
salary. Okay. And
For
you have
furniture,
furniture. So you
serial
have
number,
name, sorry, yeah,
serial number,
SLNO,
and
name,
name, type, price.
type, price. Okay.
Mm.
And you have, these are the primary key. So this is
Primary
called the schema.
schema.
And that will complete your
Yeah.
ER diagram.
Yeah.
If there is a number 2, you will get 2 out of 2.
Okay.
Everything has a part number. So you have to give this cardinality, you have to show these attributes, you have to show the schema. Finally,
Mm.
if you miss the schema, then you will be discarded by 1 mark. Sure. Okay. So this way you have to draw an ERD. This is the simplest ERD. Okay. You can try. I will provide this single line of ERD. Okay. mm, After today's class, so you can test all those single line of ERD first. After that, you will proceed with the bigger one. Okay. Tell me up to this. Okay. Then we will face with the with one of these. If you have, if anyone have any question regarding this, then you can tell me. Okay. So let's see the problem. If you have the question, then please read it. Read it of your own first. I'm taking the first one. Just read once, then I'm starting. Okay. So let's start. Mm, I'm just copying it here.
Three employees and keeping the mic in the mute and talking.
Okay, okay.
Three entities.
Just a minute.
Project employee department.
First, we identify the entities. Okay.
Entities.
So consider a company wants to maintain records for its employees. So employee can be a
Entity,
entity.
department entity, and projects entity.
So the company is maintaining records for employees, department, and projects. So everyone are the entities because what they are saying, the company wants to maintain records. So I told you what is entity. Entity is that element for which the organization is wants to maintain the data.
Maintain the data.
So clearly, employee, department, and projects are the entities here
Entity.
till now. Coming
Yes.
to the next line,
Mm.
the company has several employees. Okay,
Mm.
each employee is identified with unique social security number,
These are
name.
attributes.
So
City,
social security number, name, city
name,
of
city,
living,
living,
salary,
salary,
and the
and
department
department.
number. So
Mm.
these are all the attributes of this employee.
Employee.
We identified that. Okay.
Mm.
After that, each employee works under a supervisor.
Mm.
Each employee is work under a supervisor. So tell me,
Sub
supervisor we
entity. We had something called a sub entity. No, there.
sub entity. There is nothing called sub entity.
Okay.
Supervisor, I am telling
Mm.
you, supervisor will not be treated as an entity. It will be
Mm.
an attribute. I am giving you that thing. Okay.
Mm.
Each employee works under a supervisor who is also
Also,
an employee of the same company.
so
Okay.
he becomes an entity.
Yeah.
Sorry, this thing
Uh,
attribute for the employee.
attributes. I'm showing you.
Mm.
So up to this, okay.
Yes,
Next,
fine.
each department has
Mm.
name and is managed by a manager. So these are all the attributes of the department because what they are saying, each department has a name. So
Mm.
name obviously becomes an attribute of the
Attribute of
department,
a department. Mm.
and that particular department is managed by a manager. Now, what is a manager? What is the identification of a manager? That will be his ID,
Yes.
employee ID. Okay.
Mm.
So if I put the employee ID with the
Mm.
department, then it will
Mm.
show that the manager of that department is that particular employee. So
Correct.
managed by manager is not, again, manager is not an entity. Manager is will become an attribute of the department table. Okay. Okay. So
Location.
just up coming up to this,
Location
just
is
quickly
also
write
there. Mm.
the entities.
Mm. Mainly three entities.
अभी तक till now what we have encountered so far, employees, employee,
Department,
department,
project.
then project. Okay, I am not writing the different attributes. Okay, that we
Mm.
will write directly. Okay,
Okay.
so up to these are the entities. Now reading forward, a department may have branches in multiple locations. Now you have to consider a department may have different branches in location,
Mm.
different locations. It has different branches. Okay,
Mm.
so what you have to do? A
We have to have
department,
a city as an entity in the department column.
uh, an attribute, a column in a department table. Okay, we may
Yes.
do that. Okay,
Mm.
later there is an issue with that. I will tell you
Okay.
after drawing completes. Okay.
Table. Okay.
Next, read the thing. The company is involved working in several projects
Mm.
from different locations. Now see what they are saying. Company is working in several projects from different locations. So like
Okay.
branches have different locations, so project
From
also have different locations.
different
The projects are
locations.
coming from different locations, or a same project. Sorry, the project can be come from different locations.
Mm.
Okay. but each project is controlled by one and only one department. Means whenever the company is engaged with a project, that project will go under a particular department, and that department will be in charge to control
Got
the
it.
project.
Mm.
That is the situation that happens in the
Mm.
company. A project is identified by a unique number. Obviously, this
Because
will
the
be an attribute of the
attribute
project
of a project,
and a name that will also become an
name of
attribute.
name.
Okay.
Mm.
Next, you
And then
have an employee may or may not work in any project. Means the company has an employee. Say
mm.
100 employees are there, but not every employee are engaged in projects. Maybe there are some employees who are D category. They are not
Yes,
work involved in any project. Maybe there are accountant
supporting.
who is
Mm.
not under any department, something like that. Okay, so every employee of that company is not going to engage in uh, projects. Okay,
Projects.
but project may contain multiple employees. Obviously, a project
Correct.
may contain multiple employees. So this is the story. You have
Okay.
to read it multiple times. Okay,
Mm.
to in order to identify these things.
Attribute.
Okay, so let's move forward. They are saying that draw the year diagram. Okay, after that we
Mm.
will do these things. But
Mm.
first, move forward. So whatever the entities we have identified so far, we just draw a primary ER diagram with that.
Mm.
Okay. So how can we do that?
Three rectangle boxes.
Before moving to the drawing part, we will
Schema.
do something like that. Not schema, relationship.
Mm. Mapping
Relationship.
cardinality relation.
Mapping cardinality, we will after drawing we will set the mapping cardinalities.
Okay,
But to
fine.
draw the ER diagram, we must have after
Entity
identifying the entities, we have to identify the relationship.
relationship. Okay.
Okay. So what will be the relationship? Employee and department obviously have the relationship.
Work under. Okay.
Okay.
Employees
So
work
what
under
can be the
department.
relationship?
It could be
We
a
can write employee
employee
mm,
works under department or
works on the
belongs to
department, works
under
mm,
works in a department,
I'm writing like that, belongs
belongs
to
to department. Okay.
department.
Mm.
This is one relationship we can
Mm.
establish between employee and department.
Mm.
And do we have any relationship between employee and project?
100% we have.
Obviously, employee works
Complete
in
the project
project.
or
Employee works in project.
mm.
Okay. So the relationship from employee and department, employee and project are completed.
Mm.
Now you have to check out if there is any relationship between department and project.
Yes,
Do you
we
have any
have.
relationship?
Yes, we have.
Obviously, we
It
have.
is
You have
controlled by
to read this line.
project
Where
is
the project is
completed by
controlled by only
only one
one
department.
department.
So
So
department controls project.
controls project.
Project.
So these are the primary relationship we have till now.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Now quickly draw the ERD for this part. So we're drawing like that. Employee,
Project.
say EMP, DPT, belongs to belongs to this department, right?
Department. Yes.
Now this is completed. Employee works in
Works in
project.
project.
So employee
Works for a project.
works
Work
in
in project.
project.
Again, entity. Project is an entity.
project. Okay.
Then
So
department
employee
controls.
works in project is done.
Department
After that, you
controls.
have department controls project. So department
Controls project.
control
That should link to project.
project. Okay, fine.
Hmm.
Okay. So this is the primary ERD you have.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now you have to consider the other factors. So what?
Attributes.
No, attributes. Obviously, depending on the attributes you will have two or three more relationship. How
Hmm.
can it be? See, now we have to read it once
Location.
again. Consider the employee department and projects in a database. Now
Hmm.
you have something. The company has several employees. Each employee is identified with a unique social security
Security and
number,
number.
etc., department number, where
Hmm.
he or she works. Okay.
Hmm.
Each employee works under supervisor who is also an employee of the same company.
Hmm.
Now see, looking at the attribute, see you have these attributes for an employee, na? Social
SSN.
security number, SSN, name,
The
city.
name, city, living, salary.
Okay. So just here take the attributes also.
Hmm.
EMP. For the EMP, we have the attributes SSN,
ID. Okay, SSN will be
name,
the ID. Name, city,
name,
hmm.
city,
Department,
salary.
salary,
Then
department.
department. Department, we are taking the number of the department.
Okay.
DNO will become the
Department number.
department number. That will be the ID of the department. Okay.
Then type of employment also we can consider a supervisor,
No, since
manager.
they are giving the story, you have to take the attributes name from that. Okay.
Mm,
So here you can have one more entity. Okay.
mm,
What will be that? Sorry, one more attribute. That will be the
mm.
SSN of the supervisor under whom he is working. So we can write super underscore SSN. Now tell me, are you getting the thing?
Okay. Why can't we take as a type of employment as this one employee here? We can differentiate now whether he is a supervisor or employee or a manager, whatever it might be.
Hmm.
Why can't we take that and take here only as a
We can.
supervisor SSN?
We can, but we do not require that thing. I'm giving you the examples. Now just come to the next point, that is
Okay.
DEPT.
Okay.
Inside DEPT, what we will have? We will have something called
Department ID
department ID means the
or
D number.
number, D
Okay,
number.
say DNO. Next,
Mm.
we will have
Name,
some
name,
name, say D name.
D name,
Then we will have
city, D city,
DCT means the location.
location,
D
location.
say location.
Mm.
You must remember that a department can be located in different places,
Mm.
right? A
Mm.
department can be located in different places.
Different place.
Okay. After that,
Pro- project is also assigning controlled by project. So
no, don't we need any more attributes in department?
in the
We need
project,
one more. We
that's
need
what
one more.
project number,
No,
project
no,
number.
not project. See,
What is
a
there? Let
department
me
number.
read
Each
again.
employee works, see,
Manager,
managed by manager. Okay.
so manager
So
number,
there will
ID,
be a MGR SSN.
I, SSN.
SSN is the employee because manager is an employee.
Hmm.
So how an employee will be identified? An employee
Hmm.
will be identified by
By
using his
SSN.
SSN. So if I put a SSN here, then obviously this person
Hmm.
will be treated as a manager, na?
Yes.
Now see, you do not have to put a type here as manager. Why? Because if you look into this table and if you get an ID of an employee from here,
Hmm.
okay, and check that ID in this table, whatever record you will get, he will be the manager. Am I gettable?
Yes, correct.
That's why you do not have to put
Have
a
one more
type of employee here.
employee.
Okay.
Even for supervisor also the same
Even
thing
for
applies.
supervisor also. So if you get a SSN here, then obviously he will be treated as a supervisor. Now
Correct.
with that SSN, if you check this
Mm.
table again, okay,
I'll get the
whose
details of
supervisor, whose SSN this
supervisor.
is, so that person will all can be considered as a supervisor. So we do not require the type of employee here using these two attributes.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So next we have project.
Project.
These are not completed yet.
Unique ID. PID.
So we will have something called PID, that is a project ID.
Uh,
Next,
then
P name.
P name.
You have project name. A
Name.
project will be name,
Mm.
and the project is under a
Some
particular department.
employee. Department and
Okay. Project is under an project is controlled by a department. Na?
yes.
So which department is controlling that project?
D number.
Using D number, we can mitigate it. Okay.
Mm. Yes.
After that, what we will have? There are
Uh,
some locations. Na?
yes. Locations are
C
also there.
location.
P
Okay.
location.
Next, some employees will work
Employee
under
there. P name.
no
EMP.
SSN.
Okay. P.
To identify employee, you
Mm.
should use the primary key, means the
Primary key.
ID.
SSN. ID.
SSN.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
these are all. Okay.
Correct. Correct.
Now there are some issues here.
Mm.
Okay. What are the issues? And that will take us to the next step of the ER diagram. Just give me a minute to
Mm.
organize the image. Now we will analyze whether we did everything right here or we
Mm.
need to change something. This is,
Mm.
see what we are
Primary.
doing. What we are doing. Can you tell me? We are analyzing the thing. Na? We are
Yes.
under the process of
Analyzing.
analysis, and that is the work of a data analyst. Data
Okay.
analyst and database designers are together, sit in a table and do these kinds of thing. For big
Okay.
database, for a big enterprise solution, they need to discuss is means I can express it you in
Yes,
words.
I can
It's a
understand.
very cumbersome job. Okay, you have to visualize many far
Uh,
distance. Okay,
Visualize it. Yes.
yeah, obviously you must have a visualization power.
Correct.
Obviously that will come with the experience. You cannot
Mm.
visualize everything starting from the beginning. See, if
Mm.
you can, obviously that is a very appreciable things. Now see, keeping SSN is okay, keeping name, city, salary, DNO, super SSN, these are all okay.
Mm.
Okay, there is no problem with the EMP structure. Okay,
Structure.
but we have some issue with this thing. Now what is that issue?
Okay, I'm not able to visualize really.
Yeah, obviously, because this is the first time you are having these things, na? Okay, I have a experience of many years of doing this thing. That's why I can identify the thing. Okay,
Okay.
so gradually, if you do practice for the examination, you will be prepared. Okay,
Mm.
but for real life application, you need real experience, quite a good experience on that designing a database, because your
Mm-hmm.
application is totally depending on the
Depending
database.
on the database.
Whatever the database you design, your application will follow that thing. Okay, an
Correct.
application is as good as your database.
Correct.
A good application, suppose you are a very good programmer, but a bad database design will destroy every of your
Destroy
work.
everything. Correct.
Okay, So database is the most vital part of the thing. That's why
Designing.
I am saying that in computer science and IT means this field, wherever you go, whatever you do,
Database
database you must learn.
learn.
Okay, okay. Now, see, tell me, are you finding any problem with this? Do you have anything? Acha, how to identify the problems? Think that this is a table.
Mm.
Okay. Think in a very real life concept. Think
Okay.
this is the table. So
Mm.
now go put some data, arbitrary
Mm.
data. Say, suppose
Mm.
department number one,
One.
you have the sales department.
Mm.
Acha, sales
Location is
department, the
selected.
manager of the sales department is employee number 101. Okay.
Mm.
Now the sales department is located in Mumbai.
Mm.
So I'm right.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Mm. Mm.
Fine. Now consider another. Say two.
Second record.
This
Mm.
is your production department.
Mm.
Production department managed by employee number 102.
One, two.
But the production department is located in Delhi,
And Mumbai.
Bengaluru,
Bengaluru.
and Mumbai.
Mm.
Now, here is the problem.
Problem. Correct.
This is called multi-value, na? Multi-valued
Multi-valued.
attribute. And a multi-valued attribute is a very big problem. A
Mm-hmm.
table, a particular field, a particular record should not contain multi-value attribute.
Mm.
Then that will make your searching very inefficient.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Data retrieval will
from
be
a
very.
programmer perspective, from a programmer point of view, if I tell you, find out,
Mm.
we will, in the next class, we will start programming. Okay.
Okay.
So I am not, um, I will not do late to give you the lessons of programming database. Okay. So from
It
next
will
class,
be
we
very
will
nice.
start SQL. And I will give you a hint of SQL today also, what we will require. So let me
Okay.
complete it so that we can have time. See, from that perspective, after
Mm.
learning SQL, or if you are a programmer, if you have some programming concept, then you obviously can identify that if I tell you, tell me
Mm.
uh, the mm, department which
Mm.
is located in Bengaluru.
Mm.
Now, if this contains a single value,
No problem.
then there is a very simple query, SQL, a
Mm.
program you can
Mm.
write to find out the particular department. But
Which belongs.
if
Mm.
that location is clubbed into a set of values, means
Mm.
you have a set of values, na? That is
Yes,
Delhi,
multi-valued. Delhi,
that is
Bangalore,
Bengaluru, that is
in
okay.
Mumbai.
So from here, if you are going to search which one is from Bengaluru, which one is from Mumbai, that will be very much tough.
Correct.
Okay. So to get rid of this multi-valued attribute, we will divide this
Mm.
table into two part.
Mhm.
Okay. What is there? In one part, we will keep DNO,
Mm.
DNAME, and DLOG,
Mm.
DLOG.
Mm.
And in another part, we will put D number and
Mm.
sorry, DMGR, DMGR. And in another part, we will write D number and D log.
Mm.
So we have to divide the table into two. So what will
Mm.
be the final table then? So it will be your one is your DPT.
Mm.
Inside DPT, what you are keeping DNO, comma
DNO,
D name,
D name,
comma DMG,
DMJR,
MG,
R,
or MGR SSN, na?
mm.
MGR
MJR SSN. Mm.
underscore SSN. And
Mm.
another is you give a name, suitable name, DEPT say location,
Mm.
DEPT lock. Inside that, you are
D number
keeping DNO and
and D location is given.
D location. Now you
Mhm.
can ask me how it will resolve. Yeah, obviously it will resolve something like that. See,
We
if you
can go with.
consider the table, something
I
like
got
that,
it.
you
Mm.
got it, na?
Yes, I
Say
got
for
it.
2, you will have 3 rows now. One
Mm.
is your Delhi, another is your 2 Bengaluru, another is your 2
With
Mumbai.
the Mumbai.
See, everywhere you have single value. Now, when I told you, when you have single value, then you have a very easy
Easier
query or very
query.
easy programming. You will get the department,
Data retrieval.
yeah,
I
very
got it.
efficiently. Okay,
Yes, I got it.
tell me, everyone, is it okay? If anyone wants to ask anything, so we will not have this. This thing is
Main table.
distributed
It
into
is
2.
two tables.
Okay, fine. So now consider the next one. That is your project.
Here also the same thing may happen because location is given here.
Exactly. Here also the same thing will happen.
We'll have P number, P name, manager SSN number, and then with the location different one.
Yeah.
So here now entities will become based on that. Now the entities may become five.
Just do the thing. It will be clearly visible to you. Suppose project number 1,
Mm,
whose name is CMC, say.
mm,
Okay. It
mm,
is controlled by department number 7
mm.
and it is located in, say, Delhi.
Tell them.
Okay. It may be
Mm.
located in Delhi and Mumbai too.
Yes.
So, no, sorry. A project can be located in one place because suppose there is the company is a construction company. So the construction is going under a
Department can be
particular
same. You mean to say department can be same?
department will be a single value and location will also be a single value because a project cannot be located in multiple. I am considering that thing in this particular
Okay.
company. Suppose this company is a civil engineering company. Okay.
Mm, mm,
So the company's project is something like that, building a shopping mall.
So location can be a multi-value, here.
No, how?
He
Because
can construct the company construction work can take place simultaneously in two cities.
for the same project,
Okay,
suppose
project. Oh, got it,
it
got
is a
it.
project table, na?
Yes, yes. Then
So
location will be obviously same.
yeah, obviously, suppose the phonics is going to build. Suppose the L&T is going
Mm,
to build a mall
mm,
for the phonics. Okay,
mm,
Phoenix City Mall company. Okay,
mm.
so the Phoenix Mall has been uh, built by the company L&T, suppose
LNT.
in Patna.
Mm.
Okay, so the location of that particular project will be Patna.
That's only. Mm.
So how can a project be located in different places? So project location will be a
Mm,
single valued attribute, but the
mm.
department location, the department can be
Ma-
located in multiple cities.
Multiple cities.
So
Yes.
we have to identify this thing,
Mm,
classify.
mm.
Here we have multi-valued attributes. This one.
In
But
the
this
location
CMC
department
project, no, the this one.
SSN.
How many employees are working in a particular project? There are many employees.
Mm.
So you will have many number of
But
SSN here. Na?
multi-valued SSN
So
there.
these are all. This field is multi-valued. So we have to get rid of this thing.
So we have to
Okay.
bifurcate this table.
Yeah. So what will be the two tables? We can
PI.
write these two tables like that. One is obviously your project, right?
Yes.
So inside that
PID,
project, PID,
P name,
name,
department number,
P loc,
station, and that
then
much.
DNO,
Ah, okay. Next
And
one
the
more.
other one we can say an employee is working in a particular project.
Mm,
So we can give a name like that, works on,
mm,
right?
mm.
So
So
here
again,
we
PID.
can have SSN,
Mm,
which employee is working under which project.
mm.
Okay,
Yes,
are you getting the thing?
yes, yes.
So these are the two tables, these are the two entities that can be created from this.
For project table. Mm.
Okay. So what we have? We have finally
Five
come
entities.
into five entities. Na?
Yes, five entities.
Now you have to design
Yes.
the final entity relationship diagram. So what will be the entity relationship diagram right now? So just copy the thing.
Mm. We can extend them.
Yeah, we will extend it. Employee, employee. So what are the two new things that
Work on.
department
Mm.
located in you may say
Mm.
TPT location. Huh?
Mm.
DPT location. Okay.
Then project
Then project,
works on.
hmm, project works on.
Mm.
But for that, you do not have to write any other entities like that. Why?
Okay, we can connect it to this department.
Because see, no, the employee is already related to project. This
Mm-hmm.
will become your that works in लिखा है तो उसको works on कर देते हैं.
Okay, okay, okay.
Works on.
यहाँ पे करके. Okay, correct.
This will become your entity. This will become your table relation, not entity. This
Mm.
relationship will behave like a like this stuff.
Mm.
Works on table. समझिए?
Mm.
See, finally we have. So this is your final figure, entity relationship diagram. You can put
Mm.
the attributes here also. Okay. For the employees, you can put the attributes, department location, everywhere you put the attribute. So what will be your final schema? Your final schema will be something like that.
EMP,
That will be your EMP.
EMP. We can
This
copy
will
the
be your
same thing.
hmm,
Mm.
this will be your final schema.
Mm.
Just remove the two.
Department. No, project ID. That also will get changed. Project ID also will get
So
changed.
this thing will be
Pay the.
added.
Mm.
Okay,
Again, project two tables will be added.
the project. These things will be added. So this will be your final schema.
Correct.
Okay.
Mm.
After that, you have to point out the
Relationship card means what
primary
is
key.
that?
These are the
Primary
primary key.
key.
So
Yes.
SSN will be the primary key for employee.
Employee.
DNO will be the
DN
primary key for employee. Now
DN
here,
number.
not the DN number, it will be the primary key, the combination of
Oh,
primary key.
combination
Because
of primary
in
key.
this table you can visualize that in this table we have same.
Both the things. Two values
So
should
this
be kept.
combination will be an unique, na?
Yes, combination will be unique.
This
So
combination will be unique.
multi-field. Okay.
Yeah.
Then PID.
This PID and this is
This
same.
is
This
same.
combination.
Two combination will be
Two
taken.
combination. Okay. This is composite attribute. Okay. So
Yes.
this will be your final schema. After that, you can go for the cardinality. So
Cardinality.
uh, n employee works in one
One
department.
department.
Okay. An employee cannot work for different department. We are considering the fact in this way in this year diagram. Okay. But
Then number of employee there in one project.
Yeah.
N to
N
one.
employee can work in M project. Okay.
Okay.
Then one department can control multiple projects.
Multiple project.
Say, one project cannot be controlled by multiple departments.
Multiple
Clearly, they
department.
say that
Yes,
one
yes.
project is controlled by only
Controlled by the
one
one
department.
department. Hmm.
Okay. Now, department, one department is located in multiple places.
Multiple places. One too many.
One too many. This will be the final ER
Yeah.
diagram of that
Question.
question. Okay. And this will be your final schema.
Schema.
Okay. So this is a complete process how you have to design a ER diagram.
If this is ready, then designing
Yeah,
table will
obviously.
be
If,
5 minute
if this is
job.
ready, then we will see in the next class by using SQL queries, how can this be implemented as I show you in the database. Okay. How that can be implemented in the database software. Okay. So that will be discussed in the next class, although we will give a hint today. So this is the way how you can design a
A
draw
date.
and ERD. Okay. You have to read the story very well. You have to understand. You have to visualize the thing. Okay. Now, okay, this is complete. Now, let me add something. See here, construct the ER diagram. That is okay. We did it for the database. Also develop the schema. We also did that.
Did it.
Specify the primary key of each entity means
That is
we
also
did
done.
everything. Okay. Acha, I am adding one more line here. For e each employee working in a project, the company also needs to maintain the total number of
Hours
hours uh,
spent for
spent,
project.
spent by the employee.
Spent by the employee per project.
Maintain the total number of working hours. ऐसे लिख के छोटा हो जाएगा. Total number of working hours for the employee. Tell me what to do. For each employee working in a particular project, the company also needs to maintain the total number of working hours for that employee, for that particular project, for that particular project, for that
That,
project.
that project.
So for each employee, when he is working in a particular project, company needs to know,
How many hours
okay,
is
how many
working?
hours you work for this project, how many hours you work for that project. That
Yes.
the company needs to know. So tell me, to implement this thing, what are the necessary changes that we should make here in my
Here, work in project table, we can calculate the hours, project hours.
project table?
In project
But the
table,
project table contains the data of the project only.
employee we can add. In employee only, we can have
In employee, it is having the data for employee only. In employee
individual.
table, see, these tables are independent of each other.
Okay.
Okay. Only these tables means, sorry, not all these tables. This employee table, this department table, this project table. These tables are almost independent of each other. Means the employee will contain the data of only employee. Department will contain the data of only departments. Project will contain the data of only projects. But here we have to implement something like that. For each employee, how many working hours he spent in a particular project, that we have to know.
In project, why can't we add the hours there? Project spent time spent for the project.
कहाँ पे? Where?
in project में
Project में
works
कैसे?
on
How?
में works on में like हम
Works on
hours
में, yeah. In works on
hours
you have to maintain, because you cannot maintain that data in employee table, you cannot maintain the data in the project table, because project
works on
table does not know who the employees are working in that particular project. Project table does not
works
know
on
that.
in works
Its
on they will
intelligence
have
only has inside this table works on.
works on
Works on table only knows who the employee is working on which project.
hmm.
Okay, so here you have to,
PRs or something like that.
here we have to add one more
Mm-hmm.
works on. Here we have to add one more SSN, sorry,
PID,
SSN, PID, and
then
HOUR,
PRs. Hmm.
working hours,
Hmm. Correct.
right?
Hmm.
And you are making SSN PID as this.
The primary key.
So this will
Calculate the
include,
number of.
yeah,
Hmm.
this will include your this condition. Okay,
Correct.
but now tell me how to
Hmm.
represent this hour
Hmm.
in our ERD. ERD, where to represent that thing?
That works on
Hmm.
already we have. So,
Here,
hmm.
here you have
Hmm.
HOURS, hours,
As an attribute.
as an attribute to this relationship. This will, this not happen very regularly. Okay,
Hmm.
relationships uh, will not be treated as an employee regularly. Means for each and every case, see here, these are the two relationship more. Na? We will not make tables for these
Hmm.
relationships. But for
Hmm.
this relationship, we need to create a table.
Yes, because
Okay.
it's a special.
So in that table, we will have this attribute.
Yes.
Okay. Like that, like see another example. Suppose
Hmm.
teacher
Hmm.
teaches
Students.
students, teaches student. Okay, so teacher table will contain the record for all teachers. Student table will contain the record for all students. Now, if we want to maintain which teacher is studying under which, which student is studying under which teacher, then
We should have one more table.
we will have to implement this relationship as table. We will have teacher ID here
Student ID.
and student ID here.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, with that, if you also want to know from which date the teaching began,
Hmm.
then you
Then we
will
can
have
add
an attribute
date,
for this relationship, that is the date.
date.
From which date the
The
student is,
teach
started his teaching.
teaching means teacher started his class or teacher started his.
Okay, are you
Yes.
getting the thing?
Yes.
Okay, then we finally ended up doing a complete ER diagram. My
Okay.
suggestion will be to review this video if it
Yes.
is been recorded. So go through the video again and try to design the same ER diagram from your own, with your own perspective, with your own view. Okay, don't uh, obviously you will see this implementation. After that, you will get some own visualization. Okay, so you, with that visualization, you try to implement this the same problem once again. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
we will, I
Okay.
will obviously send you some single line ERDs, so that will also help you to get into the idea. After that, then you will move forward to solve all these problems.
Okay.
Okay, and if you do this thing, then how can you check whether this is your right or wrong? Okay, so you have to send it to me. Okay, I
Yes.
will check it
100%.
personally, and I will be have no hesitation of checking multiple items. Okay, so without any hesitation, you can send to me at any time at taking a picture of it. Okay,
Yes.
I have did this thing, whether this is okay or
Correct.
okay.
Okay.
I will reply to everyone. Anyway, okay, next we have two more things, little things
Mm.
left with this chapter. That is your specialization, generalization, attribute. These are all advanced type of ER diagram. Now, let me give you a quick hint on that.
Mm.
I will have another meeting from 9 today.
Oh,
Before the
Sunday also.
Sunday, yeah.
Okay. आपके एम्प्लॉयज के साथ?
नहीं मेरे एम्प्लॉयज नहीं, किसी और के एम्प्लॉयज, बट आई हैव टू
Oh,
sit with
train
them,
them.
train them for a particular technology. I will discuss them with you, with them.
Mm-hmm.
See, mm, the advanced feature, we have something called specialization. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
specialization and generalization are the two terms, and this will be relevant, and this will be the thing that you will learn in Java, you will learn in object oriented modeling. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so if it is
So
possible
it is
to,
useful for both the subjects.
yeah, specialization is something like that. It is related to inheritance. Now what happens, see, suppose an employee,
Mm.
consider an employee, okay,
Mm.
consider an employee. Now this employee in the company, we have something called permanent employee and something
Mm.
called
Temporary.
temporary employee, है ना, regular
Mm.
wages पे लेते हैं,
Mm. Contract
contractual,
based, contractual.
contractual employee.
Mm.
Okay, so what you have to do, you have to show them like that, whether your employee user, you have to give something like that. It's not proper arrow, it's a circular arrow you can say, is
Okay.
a contractual employee
Or a permanent employee.
or a permanent employee.
Okay. Whenever it is
Contractual and permanent.
permanent.
Okay, so
Mm.
this is the way how you have to show. This is called specialization. You have to
Mm.
remember this is called specialization because
Mm.
you will have in your story. Story means
Mm.
what?
That
This thing,
question,
that
description.
question. Inside the story, by reading the story, you have to understand whether it is a specialization or whether it is a generalization. Now, what is a
Generalization.
generalization? Generalization is same thing. This is generalization. That's why I draw it side by side. This is generalization.
Mm.
Now, in generalization, you will have this arrow in a reverse direction. That's all.
Oh.
This is generalization. Now, just identify the story will be given in case of specialization. Okay, something like
Mm.
that. Say we have in our company we have employees, and we have contractual employees and permanent employees.
Mm.
You follow the narrative. Okay, what
Yes.
I said,
Both
I'm
are
just
means.
writing you for some reference purpose. In our company, we have employees. The employees are
Contractual and permanent.
can be of contractual and permanent. Okay,
Mm.
this is the narrative. we have, sorry, in our company some
Or contractual
contractual
ba-
employees and also
permanent
have some also have
some permanent employee.
permanent employees.
Hmm.
Can you find the difference between the two?
Yes.
Here they are saying that we in our company we have employees, but the employees
Hmm.
are of two kinds. Okay.
Correct.
Clearly they are mentioning the employees
They
are
are
of
different.
two kinds
Hmm.
of employee. But here they are not saying
Gen.
something like that. They are saying that we have contractual employees, we have permanent employees. Now you have to generalize the two term by getting and get the term employee from them. Okay. This is a specialization case because employee is being specialized as permanent employee, employee is specialized as contractual employee. But here they are giving you the different employees and you have to combine them to get the one single entity. Now, why we need this thing? We need this thing because suppose everything there is a reason. Without reason, nothing happened.
Correct.
Why we need this? See, for employee, you have EID,
Yes.
you have ename,
Hmm.
ename, right?
Eat. Yes.
I'm not giving in details. Means
Hmm.
I'm not giving more attributes here. Take simple. We have
E type.
employer. We
E
have
type can we have?
that is an implementation thing. We are not considering the e-type also. You think like
Okay.
that. We have at least EID and ename. We will have as an
Hmm.
attribute. Okay.
Hmm.
Now see, for a contractual employee, we also will have an EID. Na?
Hmm.
We also will have ename,
E
right?
name.
But for contractual employee, we will not have something called salary,
Correct.
which we will have for permanent employee. Permanent employee will also will have employee ID,
EID. E
ename,
name. Salary.
and salary.
Hmm.
But for contractual employee, we should not have the salary. We have something called lump
Something
sum.
called as lump sum or
क्या कहते हैं
what is that? I'll tell you. I have a term for that.
okay, okay.
Consultation fees.
Consultant fees
Consultation
like that. Okay, I am taking fees.
fees. Fees.
Lump sum is not a very good word to use, so it is a fees.
Fees.
Okay, fees. So see, these are the common entities. Na?
Hmm.
These are the common entities. Okay. So these common entities must be put here. Only the special entity, only
Yes,
the
that should
special entity.
be
Sorry, why I am saying that the entities? These are the common
attribute.
attributes.
Yes,
Okay. Only
special
the
attribute
special attribute you have to mention here.
mention here. Yes.
That is the fees. Okay. Okay. Now see, this is called parent
Hmm.
entity,
And this will be the child
and
entity.
these will be the child entity.
Hmm.
The parent entity will contain the common attributes of the child entity. The
Inherit
child
the.
entity will show only the differentiable attribute. Okay.
Okay.
And it is the same case for generalization. Okay.
Hmm.
Now think, see about the narrative. In the narrative, you will be provided with the attributes of employee and you
Hmm.
will be provided with the special attribute of either of them
Either of them.
or both of them.
Hmm.
But here you will be given with the attributes, all attributes of this and all attributes of this. Among those attributes, you have to make a common and
Yes.
take those attributes into here. Are you getting the thing? You just review the video again, this part specially to understand the specialization and generalization purpose. Okay.
Hmm.
So in the statement, they will be provide in for specialization, they will be provided the common attributes once
Hmm.
for the employee and the specialized attribute for the specialized entities.
Hmm.
Okay, say something like that. In our company, we have employees, and the employee have an employee ID and employee name. Okay. The
Mm.
employee can be of contractual and permanent. The contractual employee will get fees, but the permanent employee will get salary.
Yes.
Something will be like that for specialization. From the
Mm.
statement, you have to identify, okay, this is a specialization statement. So I have to show it in the ER
And
diagram in
yeah,
words.
the arrow mark should be downward.
Okay. Now, for in case of generalization, the story will be something like that. We have in our company some contractual employees and also some permanent employees. The contractual
Mm.
employee will have employee ID, employee name, and fees, and the permanent employees will have employee ID, employee name, and salaries.
Mm.
The story will be like that. So from that you have to identify, okay, both are employees, so the common fields we have to identify and put the common fields in the
In the
parent
EMP table, parent table, and
parent table.
the
Okay,
this one fees and salary should come to the child table.
the same thing.
Mm.
So this is called your specialization and generalization. Okay,
Okay. Mm.
is it okay? So
Yes,
this is
fine.
your specialization and generalization. Now with that you have the term attribute inheritance. Now attribute inheritance is something like that. See, these attributes EID and EMP, you should not write EMP and EID here.
Mm.
Why? Because
It
since
is
this is a
inheritable.
parent, it is already been inherited into
Inherited.
contractual these entities, child entities. So
Mm.
always child entity will automatically inherit all the attributes
Of
which
a
are there
parent.
in parent.
Mm.
Okay. So this is called attribute inheritance. Is it okay?
Fine.
Tell me.
Got it.
Very clear, na? But
Clear.
obviously you have to review the video and you
Definitely,
have
definitely.
to
Once more, I have to go
because
through.
these are the concepts which are completely new to you, and these are heavyweight concepts. Okay.
Mm.
See, once you see the video for 2 3 times and once you do the practice of these things, okay, you
Mm.
will you will see that things are going to be easy to you, because you will then find that, okay, these are the things that we regularly do in our offices, in our works, or even in our home purpose
Mm.
also. Okay.
Mm.
So the basic purpose of database is what? To organize the data in a
The
very
data
suitable manner,
suitable
that we
manner.
can use the thing. So we use it regularly in some
Mm.
another way, another form. So
Mm.
once you practice the thing, you will then realize, okay, these are very normal. Then the things will going to be easy. Okay. And if you put a value in this subject, then I can assure you 100%, if you are trying to make your career with database management system, uh,
Mm.
you will get it. And tell me one thing,
Mm.
sorry, I'm giving you the information. One thing, if you sustain in database management field,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you do not have to think about any other field, because you can earn at least from 70K.
Oh.
Okay, as a data analyst, as a for a DBA, this is a very nominal charge. Okay, maybe a
Okay.
DBA get more than 1 lakh per month. Okay,
Okay.
but database is a completely a career path. Okay,
Okay.
I will
This
also
is
provide you some more information.
data analyst, and this is same, no? The data analyst only will do all these things.
Yeah, data analyst will also do the same. The everyone's target will be to a database administrator, DBA. Maybe
Okay.
DBA is the highest post you could get. Say the persons work in any bank in system department. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
he is working with all those things. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and just get the idea what the salary of a particular system manager in particular any bank, you will know. Okay, so you have to know the database concept well to reach to that part.
Okay.
Okay, next you have aggregation, but I think I will not discuss this aggregation because that will this is a term is related to ternary relationship. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I will discuss it in some later time. Okay. I will remember
Okay.
this thing, aggregation.
Mm.
So just leaving it here because first of all, you get all those things. These are all
Yes, correct.
heavy.
These are so many new terms are there.
So aggregation, I will not discussing it today, but I will obviously do it. And this is not very hard. Once you get all those things, you will quickly learn aggregation. It's a very small thing. It is there to convert a ternary relationship into binary relationship. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. You
Okay.
can remember the term ternary to binary. That I will
Ternary to
explain
binary.
later. It's a very simple thing. Anyway,
Okay.
just let me give you a quick hint what we will do in the next class.
Mm.
Today we are almost finished and we completed our first chapter, that
First
is
chapter.
database management system, relational model and relationship diagram. Next day we will start programming.
So very interesting it will be.
SQL. This is called
Structured query language.
structured query language. That is a complete practical session. But obviously, I will mix it up with theory and practical both. Okay. So it will be a programming language base. It is SQL is basically a programming language, but it's a very strange type of programming language. It's not a programming language like you have already learned C, C++, and some Java. So
Mm.
there is no such type of programming concept here. There is no
Mm.
loop. There is no if and else and everything. This is a
Yes.
fourth generation programming language. We call it as a 4GL. A 4GL
Mm-hmm.
programming language speciality is that it do not contain any any procedural blocks. That is all if else. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so these will be excluded. It will be a program of single line. Say a line will be ended by a semicolon. That line can be of multiple lines. Okay, a real life query can be of 1,000 lines. Okay,
Mm.
end with a semicolon. I will show all to you in my
Okay.
respective classes. Okay, so
Okay.
next day we will learn everything, start SQL, but for that you need something called a compiler. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you have a application. You need an application. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I will suggest just a minute. Just a minute. Okay. Okay. So we will do it
Mm.
Oracle 11G Express edition. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if required, we will use SQL developer. These are the two softwares we need to install in our machine. If it is already there in your machine, well and good. If it is not there, then I will show you how to install it, how to do it. I have already uploaded a video regarding this, how to install 11G and SQL developer. Okay,
Mm.
so I will share the link with you also. And if anyone have any doubt and is not successful in loading the respective softwares, then in the next class, with the help of AnyDex desktop sharing, I can demonstrate it with in front of everyone. Okay, whoever wants. Um, I will
Mm.
install that particular software
Mm.
in his or her machine by sharing desktop, means the AnyDex. Okay, that can also be possible, but we need to have these two softwares in our machine. Okay,
Okay.
so if you are if you able to do that thing by looking at the video, I will share you the link. Okay. Mm, uh, if you can understand my language over there, obviously, then
No,
it's
no, no, no doubt at all. Means it is 100% clear only. Nothing this thing.
I did that with my. for my some of my students, okay, for
Mm.
some which batch, for which company, okay. So if it is
You share
possible
with
for
us.
you,
You will try to.
yeah, you first try. If you are
Mm.
not successful, then I will do it in your machine using AnyDex. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we will need that two softwares. Okay,
Okay.
just
Fine.
finishing off this thing. I'm just uh, showing you. This is your Oracle 11G.
Mm-hmm.
At the time of installation, it will ask for the password. You have to remember that password.
Okay.
Without the password, everything was there in the video. You will get everything. So
That link you will share it in the group, right?
yeah, I will share
Okay.
it.
Okay.
See, if you install the software successfully, Oracle 11G, then it will ask you this thing.
Mm.
Okay. So username and password. You have to remember the username and password. After login, you will get into that place. Okay. So everything we will do in the next class.
Sure.
Today, up to this, I have to leave now.
Take a leave.
So tell me if you have any doubt or anything to ask. Otherwise, we will end it up here today.
It's today's class. Whatever we did is fine. We'll just go through video once and we'll try to do that
Okay.
ERD again with the
Okay.
same ERD with our view.
For anyone having any doubt, you can always message me. You can message me in the group also. Okay, I will, whenever I will get time, I will reply it personally. So don't hesitate to message. Okay, your doubts. Okay, thank you, and good night
Sure.
all. Okay.
Thank you. Good night, all.
Hmm. Hmm.